Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything entrepreneurship, finance, business, and faith-related topics. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to stick around. Alright, so today we're going to talk about how you can make a content plan for your personal brand, for your business, for your startup. Anything that you would need a content plan for on social media will do. And today we're actually going to talk about how you can achieve this. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that you'll have to do is to write down on which platforms you want to be active for this business, for this startup, or even for your personal brand, or whatever it is that you're doing this for. Write down on which platforms you want to be active. These can differ depending on your niche, depending on the product or the service that you are offering. But most importantly, it will also depend a lot on your target audience, so the people that you are wanting to target with your product or with your service. So for us, because I recently made a content plan for myself, my brother and I are launching a new business. And if you are following me, then you can just look out for that. Everything will make sense in a couple of, I don't know when this video is coming out. I want to say a couple of weeks. So I recently made a new content plan for this business. So for us, it made sense to be on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. So my content calendar, or in this video, I'm going to be focused on these 3 platforms, but feel free to choose any other platform that you feel like fits your brand, fits your whatever it is that you want to be on social media. The next step that I do, or that I took to make my content calendar, is that I went ahead and for each platform, I wrote down the ideas, like stuff that I wanted, the type of content that I wanted to post on this platform. This is very helpful because this is going to help you see what types of content you can post on which platform. It is also going to help you to reuse content. So if you make content that goes on multiple platforms, you'll be able to use them and you won't have to actually always create a new piece of content to go on each different platform. So that is going to save you a lot of time. And this is also going to help you whenever you will actually get started on your content calendar. You will know exactly what type of content can go on your calendar because you've already thought about that. This is also the step where you try to figure out how many times or how often you're going to post on each platform. Also write that down so that you always have that to fall back on, especially whenever you will be filling in your calendar. Knowing this is going to make life easier when you're making your calendar. So when doing this, try to be realistic, okay? Don't say that you're going to post every day on a certain platform and then you don't end up doing it because it's too overwhelming. And I'm talking from experience. I've been there, I've done that. Make sure that it is something that you can actually do. So even if it's 2 times a week, even if it's 1 time a week, it doesn't really matter. It's most important that you can stay consistent. So choose a frequency that is going to be doable for you. Now, the next thing that you have to do, or that I do when I make my content calendar, is that I make a rough draft of my calendar. Or a first draft of my calendar. I like to use a digital calendar. So what I like to do is that I like to use the app Trello. You can use it on your phone. You can also use it on your desktop. So Trello is mostly used for project management, making lists and overseeing that everything is done and on time. But you can actually also use a calendar in Trello, which I think is amazing because then you'll be able to use the list features of Trello, so the project management features with the calendar. So you can basically get everything done that you need to be done, and then having an overview with the calendar. And then also on Trello, you can actually invite your teammates, other people that are working on specific projects with you, in this case, your content, and they can all see what has to be done and for when it has to be done. So Trello is amazing. Love Trello for a content calendar. So that is what I do, and then I make a rough or first draft of my calendar. So I will actually put into my calendar all the different types of content that I want to post maybe during that month, without being too specific, going into detail into what kind of post it is. But at least then I know that, that specific day I'm going to post maybe a photo, and then maybe the week after that I'm going to post like a video, and then maybe the week after that I'm going to post an infographic. So that is how I make the first draft of my calendar. Now, how to actually find the content that you're going to make. To me, this is the most fun part. Now you're actually going to be creative and actually see what kind of content it is that you're going to make. Now, let's say that you don't have any inspiration. What are you going to do? So the first tip I can give you guys, especially if you are already an established business or if you have already put some things out on social media, is to take a look at your posts that perform the best. Take a look at those posts and just try to figure out why they perform so good, and then just reproduce them in another way or in another manner, because those are the posts that you know that are going to perform. Take a look at the posts that get the most comments, the most likes, the most replies, gets shared the most, and these are the types of content that you want to reproduce in the future. I'm not saying that you should put out the same content over and over again, because that is going to get boring, but I do think that it's important to look at the data that you already have in front of you, because analytics say a lot. So take a look at that data and then just go from there. Now, if you're just starting out, then you don't have all of this data, so you'll have to find inspiration somewhere and start from somewhere. So what I would say, or what I like to do, is I like to go on Pinterest, because Pinterest is basically like a board with all different types of content. You can find blog posts, you can find videos, you can find photos, you can find lists, infographics, all types of different content. You'll find them on Pinterest together in one app. So I like to go on there and just type in like the theme or whatever I want to talk about. I just put that in Pinterest and then I see what comes up the most, and that means that is the content that usually performs the best, and then I just try to do something similar, or I just put my own spin on it, and that is how I actually find new ways to make content. Another tip that I want to give you guys is to take a look at your competitors in your niche. What are they doing, and what kind of posts are performing good or best or whatever it is on their channel? And this also might work for you. So take a look at your competitors, not to cheat, not to do entirely the same thing, but they have the data that you don't already have, and you might benefit from their data to grow your platform. So, okay, so now that you know exactly what you want to create, go back to your calendar in Trello and put all of the details in that calendar. So put all the details, how you want the content to look, how it should be, like the kind of music that it should have. Everything should be in Trello. I also put in there all the props that I might need to film the video, everything that is needed for this video to turn out exactly how I want it to turn out. I'm going to put that in Trello. I can also put end dates in Trello, so dates where I feel like the video should be done, so like a deadline. And then since I'm working with my brother on everything, I can either hand it over to him in Trello, so he will get a notification that he has something to do, you know, he got stuff to do for this piece of content. So it's really easy to work with different people in Trello, and you can just tag them, they get notified, and then they see that they have something to do. And I do this for all of our content because I like everything to be done ready and beforehand as much as we can, because you know we only have 24 hours in a day and a lot has to be done. So what I also said previously, we try to choose content that we can use on multiple platforms, because for us it's going to help us to gain some time, make the actual content and then stock it somewhere. Okay, since you're making their content on before, you want to have a place where you can actually stock it. So we like to do it on the cloud, Google Drive or Dropbox, but we prefer Google Drive because Google Drive gives you like 15 GB and Dropbox only gives you 2 GB if I'm not mistaken, or anywhere else, doesn't really matter. If the only thing that's important is that every team member should have access to the content and should be able to alter the content and then just put it back into whatever cloud software software it is that you are going to use. Now, the next step is to actually post your content. So for Instagram and for Facebook, you can actually use different tools to plan your content, and they will automatically post your content whenever it's ready. So we personally use the app Later. This is going to save you a lot of time because you won't have to think about this on a daily basis or weekly basis that you have to post. You can actually just sit down one day and just planify everything, program everything, and then the app is going to do the rest for you. Now, as I said, we are also on LinkedIn. I don't know any program that helps you to post automatically on LinkedIn. So if you guys know that, leave me a comment down below because we will still have to post manually on LinkedIn. All right, you guys, so these are my steps on making a content calendar for yourself, for your business, for your personal brand. So I hope these steps were helpful to you. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and then I'll talk to you in my next one.